Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Design Cuts live weekly workshop. It is so good to see you all. I can see you in the chat already. Let us know how you're doing. And I'm thrilled to welcome back our very, very good friends and regulars at this point, Jimbo and Tea from ShoutBam. Hello, how are you guys?
Hello, hi everyone.
What is today's workshop all about?
So today we're gonna show you how to use our newest set. And well, we're gonna do a 3D calligraphy and 3D lettering. So we're gonna combine something more, just using the pen and doing like a 3D calligraphy letter, or just a swatch so you see how it's working. And then we're gonna do a 3D ampersand. You from home, it would be cool that you are like that you have one letter like filled up, like it could be a font, like
Maybe it's easier to follow.
It really doesn't have to be something super fancy, just a letter. And then we're gonna add some shades, some darker tones, some light tones, some light here, some light there, and this calligraphy thing around it.
Perfect. Let's jump in. I'm really excited for this.
I mean, it's also not our usual style, as maybe you saw. We got a bit carried away with black and white and with a bit of a dark theme. But we have to say we had really a lot of fun creating this set. And the characters and the namings, I don't know. It was very fun. Maybe not the usual colorfulness, but
I like it though, mixing it up always.
Exactly, a bit different something.
Yeah. Also, like Thea really likes storytelling, so she got carried away with the names of the brushes. So
I was really into like putting like a human name to each brush, because I was thinking, like it's gonna be so much easier to actually see and remember the brush you like or you don't like, or I don't know. And then I was like, okay, this brush does this, so let's mix it all up. Well, I had a lot of fun.
You can actually see in the screen now that I'm showing you the brushes, and you see like it has like, I think the inspiration behind this bag was kind of like a dark, Hotel Transylvania, Adam's Family kind of vibe, and Thea designed these 4 characters that you can see in the cover. And they're kind of like relating, like they are the Grainers and they kind of did the whole thing, and like and they were done with the Grainers. I don't know, we had a lot of fun, and that's by the end of the day, making a set like this, it's really cool when we get to have fun and we actually do something that is useful for the user. And I think we can achieve both, and I'm really happy about it.
Yeah,
Stunning pack.
All right, so I'm just gonna show you like a couple things that you can do with all this. If you don't have the pack, and you have some other textures, you can also follow along. But I'm gonna show you a little bit of what kind of illustration you can do. So for example, this one right here that actually you can find in my Instagram the process of. It says rise, and pretty much everything was just like normal drawing and then adding the shades. But for example, this little thing is around, this little liquids like flying around. You can actually do this directly with the 3D brushes that we've created. And then like for example, the word brushes, for example, where we're using like this 3D calligraphy brushes, and then you can finish adding some touch-ups and kind of like
tweak it a bit,
tweak it a
maybe add a
little.
bit more depth.
Yes, so the whole point. Go ahead, Tom, you were about to say something.
I was going to say the characters are very like Tim Burton. It feels like
yes.
It's
That was
pretty
the
cool.
point. I wanted something dark and
look at them. So we're gonna introduce you to them. This is Noisy Lucretia. This is Out of Focus.
She's like your like aunt that would come as you were a kid and grab you by your cheeks. Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of imagination.
Very nice pals.
Yeah. Here's Octavius. Here's like Dusty and Enchanting Violet and Madame Granulose. Well, I love that. Okay, let's. I'm sorry, people. Let's get into it. Okay? I know you came to learn something, and we are just messing around.
We're bragging about our presentation. Yes.
I just it doesn't matter. But here you have words that we've done using the 3D brushes. So it's pretty cool because you can get a super fast effect in an instant, actually. So yeah, let's get into it. So today's piece is going to be something like that. So yeah, we can do either a black and white version or adding some colors, and we're gonna show you how. So we've included gradient maps that will allow you to, to add some colorful aspects to your black and white lettering. So we didn't want to focus on like doing 3D lettering, colorful 3D lettering like we always do, but we wanted to focus on like the shapes and then adding color with the gradient maps is just
And
a
also on
second.
shading, like
Yeah.
our point also of this pack was that with this pack you can create such nice shadings to the things that you can really add realism and depth with the grains, and they allow you to do that.
Right.
And also the point was also of this 3D instant calligraphy brushes that with just a stroke you get this, like a peel of like that. It's already like 3D. It has a shadow, it has a light.
Yeah. Sorry
Okay.
for that noise.
Oh, good.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit like how to, just how to do calligraphy. There is a couple of them, and people were asking about it, and probably some of the people that were asking are in the chat right now. So just to clarify, each 3D lettering grain brush has a normal version and then an inverted version. So what that means is that on white background, if you use, let's say, a darker tone, I'm just gonna go with black and white today. But
Mhm.
you can get the shadows are always in the right down corner, so in the bottom right corner.
How did you build that? That looks amazing.
It took a lot of trying out, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely. So there you go. So you can build like, such words with this 3D effect pretty easily. There's a lot of 3D calligraphy brushes out there, but the grains, it was a little bit different, to create, and I can show you how actually. So there is a a dual brush. So the first brush is just a calligraphy one, like a really simple calligraphy brush, and then in the second one we have a shape that is actually some grain, right? And if you
Mhm.
see here in the right upper corner, there is more, the grain is a bit more dense. So what it does is like it repeats this until creating the darker tones, and then everything else is lighter. And this, it's so the first calligraphy brush has this grain inside, so it's like multiplying on the first calligraphy brush, and all of them kind of have different effects. So if we get to go to the thick enigma, we said that this is for white backgrounds, but if we go to a darker background and we use white, what happens with this one is that the dark tones are in the same position.
Mm,
So,
I got it.
in the opposite direction, for example, like you can see that the dark shadows are up, and I didn't like that.
Because you wanted, of course, that it's darker
So
when it needs to be.
exactly. So we went with the inverted ones, and you can see that the shadow still in the same spot as before. So
Super
that's a
smart.
little bit of the, yeah. So that's a bit of the logic behind this. I hope I clarified.
I love both of your attention to detail always. It's these little details that really make the difference.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it has to, like, the first thing that it has to be really useful for people, and it's always improving. So I think this spec, as Procreate evolves, it's gonna get a bit improved as well, because there's still like little tweaks that we would like to do in the future that we're gonna tell you after. So yeah, hopefully Procreate gets better and better and better, and we can update little things and tweak it.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna show you like,
Oh, this one is very chunky.
this is yeah, this is totally like kind of like different.
It looks like it was made in 3D software, actually.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. And then well, you can you can just check them out, all of them, so all of them have like different effects. This one has like an outer shadow as
Yeah,
well.
it has a bit of
Yeah, it has a bit of
yes.
I like that,
that.
whatever that means, but I like it. And then as you go down this, the Dark Lord Vlad, for example, has it's
very
really
dark,
it's
yeah.
very dark and kind of like sinister, as you can see, and it's a bit more
Mhm.
contrasted. So yeah, just if you have them, just play around. And then apart from that, there's the grain builders. We had this problem that we did grains in the past, but if you want to build a 3D lettering from the beginning, so what happens is that, let's say that we add some text here, like an S, for example. Here, let's make it bigger. So now we're gonna rasterize this, and then let's add it here. So look, I'm gonna do this background so you see it better, and the S is gonna be white. So what happened before is that we would do grain, and then out of a sudden, it was really difficult to control, right? Because you would just, I'm gonna do a clipping mask. You would just start, shading, and there was a lot of density in that grain. So what we wanted to do was, because the first thing that when we build grains and when we build any kind of brush, we also design for ourselves, like things that we actually need and things that people can like get useful, and if we really use them, then we guess that people are going to use them as well. So if you see here, there is the grain builders. We build for medium and big sizes, and then for small sizes. So if you start with the builder max, for example, it's less dense, so you can see that there is less grain. And then as you go down, there is
So
more
basically,
grain.
it's for building up the shadow. You start with the low, and then you just go to build the shading.
Exactly.
Got it.
So you
Yeah,
go
the
here.
density.
Yes, just you can see that you can start, and that's one of the things that we're going to show today, how to add this 3D lettering effect, but in an easy way. Because if you start building and you add like the first coat, let's say, with like little grain, less dense grain, and then you add more and more and more, you see you can get this kind of shading in a second, and it basically makes sense.
So also what
Mhm.
we did is that
Opa.
these two brushes up for small sizes, we figured out that there was a problem when we were working on a very small object. The grain would become powder. Like our grain brushes would be super, it would lose the grainy effect.
Yes.
So we tried to connect to make the brush that would actually look like a grain even on a very small objects and size.
Yeah, you can see the difference here.
That's why we said like small sizes and bigger sizes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That would point here. Okay, so enough talking about this. Let's get into the stuff. So so as I said before, I'm not gonna go and do the whole wait. So we wanted to do this, remember. We won't do the whole thing because it's gonna take a bit of time, but instead of an ampersand, so here, okay, sorry, I have too many things in my brain. So there is two things here. There is the 3D letter, the ampersand, and then there is the 3D calligraphy ampersand on top, right? The one that kind
The
of,
little snake.
the little snake. Yeah. So instead of that, I'm just gonna show you how to. What's up?
No, I'm just laughing at a comment.
Okay. I would love to read them, but they're there, and I.
No, Marie said that she was trying to follow along, but she made a mistake of starting a batch of cookies.
Oh, okay. Well, it's gonna be recorded, so you can come later.
Yes, she said it. Well,
Cookies and design cuts workshops, the perfect combo.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I totally understand that cookies can be
Yeah.
a super distractive thing.
So here, before you paint anything with the calligraphy, it's good that you have like like a reference. So here I have this ampersand, and you could just go here and like get either a grain duster, or I did a monoline for this occasion. It's not in the pack, but you can just convert it in a second. If someone is interested, they can tell me, and then maybe we can show you how to do a monoline brush later. So here, it's good that you have like, you're gonna have to try a lot of times, like make the size bigger, and kind of like here it's gonna cut, and then just try a bunch of times. Since I'm telling you that I'm not gonna have a lot of time. What I thought we could do is just to do a swash like this, and then I'm gonna show you how to put it behind and all that. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna get the Greta or the Thick Enigma. I don't know which one, but maybe the Thick Enigma. Yeah, I'm gonna use this one.
So right now you're just kind of freehanding.
Yes.
Okay. You're trying to create a little snake that goes around the ampersand.
Yeah, instead of an
Okay.
ampersand, I'm just gonna, if that's okay, Tom and Thea, that's okay?
Yeah,
Of
for sure.
course.
Yeah? Okay.
Do your thing.
I mean,
All right.
yeah.
So what do you think?
No, it's good. It's good.
This
So
could
you
work?
can see, you can just like take whatever flat letter and then maybe draw on top.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna use this one.
Okay.
Okay, now that we have this, we're gonna create a layer behind. And that's one of the things that might get improved with Procreate after. When you do a 3D brush, you can also you can make it solid, so you don't have this problem right now that I'm having here. But when you do the grain 3D one, is a bit different, and we cannot create a solid white behind. So now what I'm gonna do is to get a monoline brush, anything, and just in a layer behind, I'm just gonna cover a little bit of this thing in white.
So you don't want this brush to be transparent. You want it to have a white background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it's gonna take me a second, but now you're
No
gonna
worries.
see
Do
what
you,
I'm
do
doing.
you mind if I ask some questions while you work?
Yes.
No, he means no.
Oh, that you can ask. Not that I mind. Sorry.
Marlene says, have you got any plans on converting these brushes to Adobe or Affinity softwares?
Yes. This year we wanted to focus a little bit more on Photoshop, because Photoshop is something that we've been using ever since, and we would like to focus a bit more on it. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think we
Affinity-
should definitely do it. Maybe we can choose a brush pack to do it with, and then maybe see how it goes from there. And maybe at some point convert all the brushes we have into Photoshop and hopefully Affinity.
And Affinity,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that would be very popular
Yeah.
with some of the design cuts community.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we had like enough time to every brush that we put out. I mean, the thing is that since we work on Procreate most of the time, then it's the go-to. Probably it's also because it's the most popular, the one we feel more comfortable
For
with.
sure.
But Photoshop, it's been something that we've been using, I don't know, since we started design. So definitely that would be something that we should consider. Okay,
Amazing.
so now
go ahead, please.
I'm gonna put everything white, and I'm gonna start building this 3D. So in the main lettering, in the main letter we have, I'm gonna duplicate it and add and put it in black. Now I'm gonna move it. This is just the same kind of
the same 3D
the
letter
same
kind of
3D
process
that we do all the time. And then and then this
Connect
we're just gonna connect the.
mhm.
If someone has some questions about this, they can ask me. This is, we always kind of start like this.
There is a question. Kiki asked, can you use these brushes with color instead of black and white? Definitely. The black and white was just our way of showcasing this, but you can use this and it will work with any kind of color or color palette.
Yes.
No problem.
Actually, I can show you later some of the things we've done outside the pack in
Yeah.
color
With grains.
with grains. Yeah, so
Mhm.
you can definitely in the promotional material for the session, the team at Design Cuts took one of the illustrations I did in a character, and it's just a colorful thing.
Mhm.
So
Perfect. Taya, feel free to pick out any questions, by the way, that you'd like to answer.
Well, Beth asked, how well would these textures reproduce in a screen printed design, for example, t-shirt designs?
I wouldn't do it with screen print. If I was you for screen printing,
Mhm.
I would probably use some halftone textures. We also have a pack that you can build up, from really dark halftones to light.
Mhm.
And I believe because we've done some work in the past that was silk screen, and the halftones, when you do the screens, the halftones are really visible.
Yeah.
This is maybe the
Basically, I'm
grinds.
made for that as well.
Yeah, the grains could be potentially okay, but
I feel like it will be
it
maybe too messy
too
and too
messy,
little and
too complicated, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
So Fanny asked, when you build your brushes, do you do it with traditional or digital images for your shapes and grain?
You can get this one there.
Well, we do it like in a traditional
Yes.
images,
Yes.
yes. We sample things like we put salt on the table and we take a picture or a bit of dust or anything we can find that could look interesting, and we sample it from the real life materials.
Yeah. Totally. That's it.
Love that.
I was talking about this yesterday with someone, and it's crazy how we are, going into a digital era. And but for example, for our work, everything is digital now, but we always sample
From the real life thing,
offline
because
stuff.
we always
Yeah.
want to recreate things that are similar
That are, yeah.
to the real life thing, I guess.
So a second. So what I did here, remember, I used the Grain Builder Max just to kind of build up a little grain on the white.
Mhm.
I decided that my lighting is gonna come from the left top corner. Well, actually from the bottom left, but up. So I'm gonna add a bit dark in this right corner. And now I'm using the second one, and then now I'm gonna use the decks. Now I'm gonna use the X, this one, and for this, that's it. And now I'm going to go to the black tone. I'm gonna paint that side of the letter on white, and I'm gonna repeat the same. But this time, since I want this darker, I'm gonna start with the third one, so the one in the middle, because I don't want so light kind of shadow. So I'm gonna start with this one.
To everyone who is following, is this like going kind of okay in terms of pace?
Yes, let us know that. Sometimes I get carried away.
No, and
And
it's normal. I mean,
I always like having ShoutBam on because Taya is a better host than I am.
That's
And everyone
right.
loves Taya the most.
Well, listen, I do my best. I try.
it's hard for Ted to get compliments. So, huh? Like
Okay,
you
well,
don't know how to
we
take
have
them.
to
You
give
don't know how
them
to.
any more then.
No, do it. You
He's
have to do
gonna
it.
keep me blushing,
You have to do it. It's like
Taya, you're one of the most charming and talented people I've
Oh,
ever met.
Yes.
oh no, Tom.
Do
you
that.
I can
just-
feel the pain from her.
Look at her. Look at her. She's suffering right now, man.
Oh, the torture. Okay.
Okay, so now,
Well, thank you, Tom.
so now you can see the you can I just put the background in white, but now you can see that we're getting a bit there. So I'm gonna build more, and for that, okay, now I'm gonna start isolating parts of the 3D part of the letter. So I'm gonna get the selection tool, and I'm gonna select one of the parts, and then I'm gonna start adding. Right now I'm with the fourth. I'm gonna start adding a bit of darker here. There you go, and a bit inside.
You know how I think about these brushes? It's like HB pencils,
Yeah.
Hmm.
or you get like HB and then 2B and 6B, and they let you go
Yeah,
darker and
depending
darker
on
in
the
shadows.
the
Yeah, it's kinda-
greasiness and
yeah, it's kind of the same concept by
Mm.
the end of the day. Totally. So one thing that here, for example, there is this intersection here. So with the selection tool, we're gonna get one of in the corner right here, if you see the dot, and then to this corner. Okay, and now when we have this, we are going to select the upper side. Any letter that you picked, everything is the same. So the techniques are always the same. And now I'm gonna add a bit of dark here.
Oh yeah, it's coming back. It's coming to life. It's coming to life now.
Yeah, right. Now it's doing
Hmm.
something. And now without selecting, because there's no need, I'm gonna do this part down. I'm gonna select probably the Rex a little so it's more smooth. And I'm gonna get back to the jacks. Okay, now we're gonna do this one up here. Well, actually, I'm gonna do the dark tones here. And here, the same. So I'm gonna get this dark here and this dark.
This is
here.
looking cool.
I like it better than the one I made before, actually, for the promo. Yeah. Somehow.
All right.
I like the pressure.
Oh yeah, he enjoys the pressure. The more stress, the better.
Yeah.
It's
Really?
crazy.
Well, in that case,
Mm.
we have 3.5 minutes until the end of the session.
Come on. Oh God.
Go, go, go.
Not that kind of, Tom. But okay, thanks. Okay, now that we have this, we're gonna do another shadow that kind of like makes it touch the floor. So I forgot the name of this shadow. Is it a? I always forget names. What's the name of this kind of shadow?
I don't know. Makes it touch the floor.
Yeah. So what I want to say is that we're gonna put another ampersand right here.
The background one.
Yeah, but I don't remember. There's in my Instagram. There's a post that I
That
should
you
know.
s-
I should know this. I should know this.
Is it like
Anyway.
offset or something?
No, it's called. It's not a drop shadow. It's a. Oh. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, people. I'm bad at names sometimes. I just forget.
Occlusion?
No. Okay, nothing.
That was Cassie's suggestion in the chat.
I guess it's a drop shadow. Yeah, I guess it's that.
Yeah, I think that's the closest to what you want, but
Extrusion would be the 3D part. This is
cast shadow.
yes,
Bit.
yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Sharon, ding, ding, ding.
Cast.
Right answer.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a cast shadow. Yeah. Sorry for the.
Also, Sharon has a very cute avatar. It looks like a golden retriever.
That's it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharon. Yeah, I see
So
it.
now that we have this, I'm going to go to adjustments, and I'm going to show you another way to do like this effect. So you go to motion blur, and that's going to give us a blur that depends the direction that you want it. So if you get the pencil and you just move it across the screen, it's going to give us the direction that you want, as you can see here. So right now I just want this direction. And now what we're gonna do is to go here in the layer, duplicate it a bunch of times, and join everything, and repeat this a couple times. A little bit more. So it feels like sometimes Procreate doesn't give you these options, you know, but people kind of like figure them out in the end.
You can go around it.
Yeah, totally. So now what we want to do is to, you know, locate this. So it kind of like, it comes from, sorry. We're in a new room kind of, and like
It's too small for us.
it's too small. Yeah. So
You're
all
still
these
getting
noises-
used to the proportions of it and where everything
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
So I don't think it was your session, but during our birthday event, I think it was the final session or second to last, and I had a glass of wine, and I was getting ready to
Okay.
celebrate, and I was like, okay, and I sat down. I was like, okay, we're nearly there, guys, and I swung my hand out and I smashed it all over my desk. So there was,
I saw
and
this video. I
oh,
saw
it
it.
was terrible. Yeah, there was like wine in my keyboard. Like, oh, it was terrible.
I saw this.
Normally, I'm very
Yes.
professional, but the team behind the scenes heard lots of bad words and frustration.
Listen, I think it's fine. You
Well,
know,
it was the DC birthday. You were allowed to spill a bit.
I think you are. If someone's allowed to do that in the birthday, it's you, Tom. So
Exactly.
So
It was so many hours every day, but so much fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm doing this little thing behind. You know, I just painted in white, or you can select it, and in another layer you can just add some grain. And then now that we have here, you can, you know, control the opacity. You can put it down, up. I think maybe this one would even go with really dark background. But in any case, I'm just gonna leave it like really low, and I'm gonna figure it out after. Okay, so now that we have this, we're gonna go back to this thing. So what we want to do now is to let me see. Gonna put together these two layers, and we're gonna tap on it and tap on mask. And now we're gonna go to the 3D parts. So starting this one, and I'm gonna click and select. Now I'm gonna go to the layer mask up, and with a normal brush, so the monoline or whatever calligraphy brush you have, we can just erase the parts that we don't want. So for instance, I'm gonna erase this one down.
And we are doing this because we want it to feel like it's going behind the letters, no?
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Zach on our team said that we need adult sippy cups around our laptops.
maybe.
That's not a bad idea.
And some up, do a ShoutBam Design Cuts collaboration on adult sippy cups.
And do sippy cups.
I'm up
That
to
would
that.
actually be super cute, eh? Very cool. And then we can be here on the live and just have our little sippy cups. Yeah, maybe not.
Why not? I mean, listen, I think I almost killed my computer 3 times in a year.
True. That's true.
You know, thank God that Max. Actually, listen, this is a good story. It's the only time that as a child I broke something, because I was a really good child. The only time as a child, one time I broke something.
Wow.
Was an old laptop that had like 4 games on it that, you know, the like Santa Claus gave me, and I threw orange juice on it.
Oof.
So that was the only thing I broke as a child,
And it created a trauma.
and it's yes,
And no breaking since then. Okay.
nothing.
Wow.
So there's a well-known thing that the people that like to say they were perfect children were often the terrors. that everyone had to watch very
Oh
carefully.
my god. Oh my
So
god.
Jimbo, are you telling the truth?
You're gonna have to
Well,
find out for yourself. Okay.
Next time I'm gonna visit his parents, I'm gonna
ask
Mhm.
yeah, do
how
some
good of a child I was.
good questions.
Yeah,
Prepare some
I
questions.
I kind of get mischievous vibes from Jimbo, so
Oh, come on.
we never
Yeah,
know.
actually, that is true. That is true. But he always tells me he's been like such a perfect kid, and I'm like,
I would do. I know that I would do such a good low key because of my hair and all that, but I'm not. I'm.
Debbie says, "Get the dirty and Jimbo for us there."
Oh my
Hi,
god.
Debbie. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna definitely try to find some juicy
Oh,
stuff.
Jesus Christ! This looks like a soap opera instead of a DC session.
Yeah, next
Okay,
month
so
we're gonna have a live session with Jimbo's family, sharing gossip.
speaking Spanish because yeah, we're gonna need a translator. Okay, so let's get serious now. We have this done. Now what we're gonna do is to intensify a little bit the shadows and the we're gonna cast some shadows on the letter from the 3D calligraphy swatch we did. So we're gonna do another clipping mask on top of all this. And now, like if you put it quite far, so this is this kind of can look basic, but since I discovered like my pieces kind of got another dimension. So you can do like shadows really close to the actual element that you're casting the shadow of. But if you do it a bit far, it's gonna look more interesting, and it's gonna look like
It also looks like it's a bit more far from the
Yeah, you see what-
letter. You know, it
exactly.
depends if it touches the shadow touches the object, then I guess it means that it's really on top of it,
Yeah.
touching it. Yeah.
Okay, so
That looks cool.
I'm quite satisfied with this. Now I'm gonna add another on top of the calligraphy swatch. I'm gonna add a clipping mask, and then I'm gonna, as you can see in the presentation, that these calligraphy brushes are cool to do the fast effect. But if you dedicate some more time, you can get better effect. So now I'm gonna add some more grains, so it kind of looks a bit more interesting and a bit the way my piece, the way I want my piece to look like. So I'm gonna add a bit of dark here. And then a bit of dark down here. Well, actually, I can leave this one in the middle. And a bit of dark here. And then I'm gonna add a bit of whites as well. So some whites up. Just a bit, just to personalize it a little bit more.
Sprinkle it.
Yes, sprinkle it. Okay, something like that. And then down as well. And then probably maybe some more shadows down. Okay, something like that will work.
This looks like wall art, and I mean that in the best way. This kind of minimal, really beautiful thing that I would imagine, with maybe a black frame hanging on the wall in my office or something.
That's actually true. I could see that. I could see that.
It will look
yeah.
kind of like industrial. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, can you see behind me? I know I'm small, but I've got this
Hmm.
black and white ampersand on my wall in my office.
I'm trying
And
to.
this
Yes,
is kind of
I see it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a mass-produced thing, so I kind of like it, but I'd much prefer something cool like this.
Okay.
Okay, we got. Thanks for the hint.
That
Yes.
wasn't a hint, by the way. You don't need to send me a print. I'm just saying I need some more interesting artwork.
Well, if you stop talking, maybe we will send you. So like in a way, like don't spoil it now. Now we know.
Okay.
It sounded ugly though. I said, if you stop talking, oh my God, Tom, I didn't mean it like that.
I know.
Sorry.
I was so upset.
No, no, no. I know. I just, meant it in the best way. Like, it's good that you have a spot there
Tom
for
is
us to
not
fill.
speaking to you now, Jimbo.
I know it's over.
Oh,
Okay,
Let us
so
know again, by the way, in the chat. Is everyone following along? Okay, because this piece is taking shape. Marie got back from making cookies and was like, "Wow, this has developed so much."
here we are.
oh, she was baking the cookies. Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's so good.
Okay, so one of the if you don't have a lot of time and you want to speed up your process, what you can do is like out of the shadows you've done, you can either get them blacker, painting it, or you can go ahead and duplicate this. So you can see that as you duplicate it, it just gets dark by itself. And you can also try in the one up if you want to make it darker, and even try with different modes, or whatever it might be, or like even just wait, I'm gonna do the normal one. I'm just gonna move it a little bit, like something like that, and maybe like I'm just gonna bring the opacity down a bit, and yeah, something like that. That's gonna work. Okay, so more things. Opa, sorry,
Oh,
this just went to. I have too much stuff here. So yeah, regarding the colorful grainy illustrations that
yes,
someone
we
was
wanted to
asking
show
before.
it.
Oh, that
So
looks so cool.
I did this for an NFT project, and I used the same grains, and you can see that with colors it's exactly the same.
Yes,
I mean,
it looks good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna add lights, and for that it's pretty easy with the set as well. So in the corners we want to add some lights, and we have a brush that as press harder, it creates some kind of like grainy effect. So I'm going to show you now. Create a layer on top of everything. Well, or on top of everything, no, like right under the swatch. So somewhere here, yeah, that's gonna work. And now, well, is it? Wait, just let me think, people. 1 second. No, actually, do it up, and then we're gonna erase some parts, and that's it. So if you go down, you're gonna find a brush that's called Lightbringer Ignacio.
Mm.
And what we want to do with either of these two is to add a line here. So if I show you outside,
It's gonna add like this little bit
you
of
see,
sparkle at the edges.
yeah. So I'm gonna do it in dark right now. It's supposed to be used in white, but you can see that if I don't press, nothing much is happening. There is a little shadow around it, but as I press, there's like a burned effect to it, and that's what we wanted to do with the light. So bring it a bit down, and then on the corners that is so for instance, I'm just going to show you. So if we do, let's say, this part here, in this corner, let's say it's more white. In the 3D part, it's more white. So there it's going to be the light is going to be thicker, because it's kind of like the corner is kind of reflecting. And for example, here is also going to be thicker, and then for example up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and try. So we come from down here, and now we add more pressure, and we finish.
Yeah, I see.
You see
And
that
it's
it
gonna
kind
have
of
this like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a rim light,
yes.
Yeah.
lens flare type thing.
So it kind of burns this whole thing a bit,
Mhm.
and now we're gonna do the same here. Again, I'm gonna make sure that I erase it now, so don't worry.
Again, it's always these little details that add so much to your pieces.
Yes, totally. I mean, without those, it would never look realistic, right? I guess. So now the same here. Oh, sorry. Is there any more questions?
Mm.
Well, I'm going to defer to my host, Taya, for those. What do you think, Taya?
Well, Kathy would like to see how we make the monoline grain brush,
Okay.
but I don't know if we're gonna do that now or maybe you want to show it after if
Ma-
people would put it in a
Would
chat. I don't know.
Would you be
I
willing
can
to
show.
share that as a tip inside the community hub at some point?
Yeah, but yeah, I could do both.
What
I'm
do
just
you
worried
mean?
we may not have time today.
Yeah, because it's
Um,
52.
Yeah, okay.
5:52.
Then I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it there.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
I'm gonna speak to you, Tom, after, or to the team, and then I'm gonna make it possible.
Thanks
But
so much.
just to clarify this, it's a second. So
Mhm.
once you see it, it's really a second. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the last one. Erase this part. And then the last thing I want to do here is to go ahead, duplicate this layer, go up to adjustments, bloom, and now play with this. So what bloom is gonna make is just, like a burning light effect. So I'm just gonna maybe do a bigger size and burn it less or more. That also depends on you. Something like that. And then, play with the modes a little bit. That's it. Okay, so now super fast. The piece would be done. Obviously, we can add more detail, more lights, whatever. But what we want to do right now is to add some color with the gradient maps. There is a
Mhm.
guide in the set that tells you how to convert normal colors into gradient maps.
Yeah. In the color
And
palettes. Yeah.
yes, yeah, so color palettes into gradient maps, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's yeah, if you follow that, you're gonna be able to convert them in a second. Procreate right now doesn't allow for us to
Make
export
like
gradient
already
maps.
ready gradient
So we
maps.
show you
Mhm.
how to, from our color palettes that we created, how to do the gradient map. So now I'm just gonna do it really fast, but you go to copy canvas and everything is gonna be copied right now, and then 3 fingers down screen and tap on paste. Okay, now we have this image up here. Everything is together. What we want to do is go to adjustments,
Gradient map.
gradient map, and then
There already
there is some
some
in Procreate,
Procreate already
but
made
yeah, we
gradient
were
maps.
we were not a super fan of most of them. So we've created, some of them that are, kind of cool.
So I can see Nicole and a couple of others in the chat mentioning replays. We definitely have replays for all sessions, but also if you ever have questions, don't be afraid to ask in the community hub. It's honestly such an incredible resource. People ask questions every day and get the answers they need from other members of our community. So if the team could link that up, I recommend checking it out. This looks awesome, by the way. Back to the nightclub vibes, flashing the colors.
Yeah. And then one of the things that we could do, for example, is we paste another time what we copied before, and we add another one. And then I'm going to show you like a super cool, trick to finish the session. But let's say we can, I don't know, let's use what, this orange one maybe. And then you create here a mask, and with a brush, with a soft brush, a native one from Procreate, you go ahead and with a dark color on the layer mask, you paint a little.
Mhm.
Yeah, my
Ooh.
my my pencil just ran out of batteries.
Oh no.
Thank God we're done here. But what you could do is
That's
like
awesome though.
either select different parts of the
And just
lettering, or for example, like if you go up here and you select what we did before. So we select this, the swatch, then we go to layer mask, and with the brush, look, we do this. Okay, right now there's something going on up there, but you could do a lot of these things. Or even we could select, let's say, the 3D part, select, then we go up here and okay, whatever.
pretty
But
beautiful.
you
Yeah,
you you
people
get
are loving
the
it as well.
Like you can mix the few gradient maps, maybe in some
yes.
parts here and then a bit of here, and it can look like. I think maybe you have some artwork where you did it where it looks like very, very, very cool.
Some artwork, you mean in the
Where you mix the gradient.
yeah, I mean I can show you for a second and then we can just so wait, in the grainers you can check, for example, okay, so these are the the gradients that we're giving you, and then
Even the guide looks so cool.
mhm. And then there is like, for example, like when you like this hand with it, you see, so you can like really get different tonalities to it without having to control the color. That sometimes it's tricky. So you do black and white, you go
That's
ahead and you
amazing.
edit, and yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
we're
can
done.
see quite a
We're
few
done.
people mentioning tutorials. There's some incredible tutorials in this pack, and I cannot recommend it enough. I can't believe it's on sale for $11, which is ridiculously cheap, but you can get it with the shiny green button below this live stream. Check it out. It's an amazing pack. It's super popular at the minute. It's incredible value, and it includes all of the brushes, all of the guides, and we can see so many of you already enjoying it. Jimbo, Tea,
There's
that
more
was
than that.
incredible. And again, check out the brush below this live stream. And thank you so much for taking the time today. We always appreciate how generous you are
Thank
with
you
your
so
time
much,
and
Tom. Thanks so
teaching the
much.
community.
Yeah, well, people, see you around. If you need something, hit us up either in the mail or in our website. We have a new website, so you can check that out as well.
Oh, it's
And
beautiful. Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, so you can do that, and you can always reach out on Instagram if you have something that you don't understand of the session or whatever it might be, and we're gonna reply for sure.
Amazing. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you
You
really
take care.
soon.
Thank you.
Take care,
See you
everyone.
soon.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.